Okay, so hello everyone, welcome to Amalika's Thoughts. And in this third episode, we have Sophie Perella over here. So, hi Sophie. Could you please
Hi,
introduce
how are you,
yourself?
Salsa?
I'm good.
What
I'm
was
good.
that again?
How about you?
Good. I'm
Uh,
ready for this. I'm excited.
Me too. Okay, first, let's start with could you please introduce yourself, Sophie, for a little bit?
Oh, yeah. My name is Sophie. I'm a junior at University of Colorado in Boulder, and I'm studying political science, and I'm minoring in Spanish and TESOL, which is teaching English. And that's actually how I met Salsa, was through our conversation cafes that we have
Yeah.
every week. So, yeah.
So yeah, everyone, Sophia is like one of our friends from Universitas Negeri Surabaya, and we also have some sort of conversation cafes. So between two universities, we have this sort of association with this conversation cafe. And I also love to invite her over here in our American Voice because I think um because we are as students we have some type of similarities, especially when we are talking about dream, plan, or anxiety about future. And now I want to ask you, first of all, I want to ask you about what is your dream job? What is your plan in the future?
Okay, my plan is pretty iffy right now. So I'll give you what I would like. So
Okay.
so after I graduate, I think I want to teach abroad. I haven't decided where yet for like a couple years. Teach English or just stay in the States and teach here. I just want to teach for like 4 years maybe, and then I want to go back to school and go to law school and become a lawyer after that. So that's the plan right now, and we'll see how that plays out. Because that's a lot in my, it feels like it would be a lot, but it's my
Okay.
dream.
So it's like you also want to be a teacher, but in other side you also want to be a lawyer.
Yeah. I would want to do both because I'm so interested in both things. Like, I wouldn't want to just like shut one of them down completely for the other.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'd like to find a way to do both.
Oh, okay. So it is like you want to you want to reach your English English literature degree first, and then you took the your law's degree actually. Meanwhile,
Yeah. Yeah.
meanwhile, I have when it comes to dream, I actually want to be a news anchor. I want to be a news anchor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
That is so fun.
because I love to speak in public, but if I had to be honest, this is actually a different dream from my past dream. Actually, when I was in a senior high school, I majored in science, and at that time, my dream is I want to be a doctor. But then again, when I also have similarities like you. I also have this two things that are really interest to sort of a field that are really getting interested with, and I also want to work over there. I want to be a doctor, and then I also want to be a news anchor internationally. And then when it comes to a doctor, my mom is just like my family is just like um I think your dream to be a doctor is good, but when my mom looked into my personality, I think I may not fit into it because as a doctor, you definitely have to sacrifice your whole time. You also need to make really good, really great effort, especially for the work, the assignment, and and I'm a flexible person. So my mom feels that maybe it doesn't really fit you, but my mom also gave me the flexibility. If you want to go try it, just try it. But the first thing that you have to do is do the things that you want to master first, which is which is about my English. Also,
Yeah.
I want to improve my public speaking skills, especially internationally as well. So
Hmm.
instead
Well,
of
you're so well spoken. I feel like you'd be a really good news anchor and a doctor too.
so I really hope to.
Yeah,
Okay,
that makes sense. I feel, oh, you can go.
huh?
Sorry.
You can go. Sorry.
It's, I was gonna say, I feel like it's totally normal. I feel like no one like at our age really knows like exactly what they're doing, and that's fine. Like my older sister, she's 5 years older, and she ended up being a nurse, but she didn't get a nursing degree. She like in her undergrad was a bio major. So she didn't realize until after college that she wanted to be a nurse and like that's what she's doing. So I think like we have way more time than it feels like we have to figure everything out and like find ourselves and stuff.
Yeah, I also totally agree with that. So it is like every day is like we also discovering our own selves more and
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
And yeah, previously before this, we are being in this America's Voice, we also talk about assignment a little bit, right? And talking about assignment, sometimes we as a students we also feel like okay, sometimes I'm tired or maybe sometimes I feel exhausted about maybe a bunch of the assignment. But what do you think about it? As a student, do you also feel the same thing or it's just me?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel the same way. I have like my little planner and I have to plan
Okay.
everything out and stuff, and it gets really stressful just like seeing everything you need to do written out in one space. Like I'm looking at my week for like this week and I'm like, oh, it's so much. But if you really just take it like day by day and just make sure you get like the one or two things done a day, it like really reduces the stress. And just having like I feel like what helps me is like having a balance. Like if I'm having like a really like busy week, I'll
uh,
make sure to plan something like fun and exciting for that weekend so I can like get through it and like
okay.
have something to look forward to.
Yeah. Well, I actually also do the same thing. So it is just like when I had this diamond, I always like write things down. So I really want to organize something. So it is like I don't want my time only surrounded with assignments. So I really organize this sort of thing very details, very carefully. So at this day, I'm gonna do my assignment, and when it's getting done, then give, I'm gonna have fun with my maybe with my friends. Maybe I want to go out. Just I really want to make these things clear.
Yeah. And it's always fun crossing off this stuff and then seeing like, oh, like hang out with like your roommates. Like it's so fun.
Okay, when we are talking about assignments, sometimes, yeah, I know it's maybe very exhausted, but I think it is worth. It is worth. It is worth
Totally.
at the end of the day. We're gonna think that all the assignments is not just put our mindset, but it's also like make us more get knowledge about the material that we have in the class. So I think it's very important to practice
Yeah.
as well.
When I get really stressed, I have to like take a step back and be like, you're lucky that you even are able to go to school like this.
Uh-huh.
Like just do the assignment.
Yeah, because to be honest, there are a lot of people that might not lucky, and fortunately, we are concluded as the one who are lucky, and we are able to have a higher degree. So I think
Mhm.
it is one of the things that we also have to be grateful of.
Yeah. Little reality check sometimes.
Okay. Anyway, um, when we are talking about our dream life, do you think which part that you are already in? So it is like it is still on the on the beginning, or it's still on the middle track, or maybe you could tell our your stories about it.
Wait, what was that? Could you repeat that again? I'm sorry, it cut out a little.
Um, it is like previously we were talking about our dream job, okay,
Mhm.
our plan,
Yeah.
our future career, and now when I ask about you right now, which position that you work belong in?
Oh, okay. I feel like, oh gosh, I don't even know. I feel like for my teaching part of like my future, I just started. This is my first semester taking my TESOL classes and stuff. So I just kind of I feel like I'm more at the beginning with that, but then again, like our teacher Ray, she sets up these classes so good that even though this is my first semester and like doing all this, I feel like I've done so much and gotten like a lot of experience already. So I feel like I'm like kind of fast tracking it maybe.
Okay.
And then for the law part, I definitely at the beginning of my journey, even though I'm about to get my like poli sci degree, because that's just like the first step of many to follow. So that's definitely a more like long term thing. But yeah, I feel like I'm very beginning all of this just now, even though I'm almost done with college, which is weird to think about, but it's fun.
It's really good to hear that, Sophie, actually, because you are when you are in your teaching way, you are already have some sort of fast track along about it. And I also want to share to you about my dream job. The first for the doctor way as a physician, I actually haven't done everything yet, so it just basically still on the one on the first step. Not the first step, but maybe still zero, absolutely zero. But then again, when it comes to my dream that I want to be a news anchor, actually I've done an auditions just like a week ago. A week ago, I've
Oh
done
wow.
an audition for news anchor. It is the television company, media company, one of the biggest one
How
in
exciting.
Surabaya. So I really hope that I'm like enough so that I could also have the fast track, even though I'm still as a student. I really hope.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you did great. That's really exciting. Oh, I'm so happy for
I really
you.
hope.
Oh, that's so fun. I feel like it all feels like right now, like at our age, it feels like we have to do all this stuff and get ahead
Yeah,
of it because it always feels like you have so much on your plate, but you're not doing enough.
yeah, that's
Like it
absolutely
always
true.
feels like that. Yeah.
Huh.
So I feel like, I mean, but if everyone feels the same, like we're all fine.
Yeah,
So,
especially in our ages, it was like I feel like I want to get success early. Like I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste a lot of time again. I just want to be direct. I just want to get success early. So I really, to be honest, I really make the plan of everything's done. But sometimes it's also overwhelmed when we are talking about future, right? When we are talking about our future career. Sometimes, like
mhm.
if I had to say, this is like our quarter life crisis.
Yeah,
Quarter life crisis.
exactly. Because we're just getting into the real world and it's
Yeah,
different.
It's like very exciting to be in adults, but sometimes we also have a lot in our minds, and sometimes we just sort of confuse which sort of way that we have to choose, and then
Mhm. And you
yeah,
see,
uh-huh,
it's also hard not to like compare yourself to other people, I feel like.
yeah, absolutely true. I also feel the same thing.
Yeah. Because it's like you see everyone doing all these other things, and it's like, I'm not there yet. Like, I don't, like, I'm not ready to do some
Uh-huh.
things that other people are doing. But I just don't think you can compare to other people because everyone's doing different things. Like, I live with six people, and not one of us are doing the same thing. Everyone's doing something different, and everyone has their own way of doing it. So that's what I tell myself when I find myself comparing to other people, being like, I'm not doing enough.
Like I totally agree with you, Sophie, because it's also hit me. Maybe just a month ago, I'll always compare myself. Like it is like the step of my insecurities, very in the lowest part of my insecurities. So I also compare myself to other people. But then again, Amalika's voice like give me a light. So I previously, for the first episode of this Amalika's voice, I also do this sort of interview conversation with one of the lecturers in in our college, and then one of the lecturers said that you don't have to worry too much actually, because each of the person in this world actually ever feel quarter life crisis as well, just like what you feel right now. And then she also said that you just really need to keep improving yourself. You also just need to keep open-minded to every possibilities that may come to you. And then regarding the insecurities itself, about the comparison itself, he also very highlighted the word highlighted her word that each of us in this world is being created differently. So each of us like have our own uniqueness. Each of us are
Yeah.
being created differently, and we are on also on a different path. So when we are make this sort of comparison, it's just like we at the first at like basically we are already on a different path. So you just couldn't compare yourself with other people.
Yeah. That's really well said. And it's definitely way like easier said than done to like not compare. Especially I'm the same way, so like it is something I've been doing for a
Yeah.
long time is
Okay.
comparing myself. But I feel like the older I'm getting, the easier it's becoming to not,
Uh-huh.
just because, you get a little confidence when
I
you
agree.
start like getting older and you start doing cool
Mhm.
things and new experiences. So yeah, I totally agree with everything you just said.
Okay. Manifesting this quarter life crisis. Anyway,
Mm,
now we're going to the next sections.
okay.
Maybe it's also still related to the insecurities. I mean, not the insecurities, but it's gonna be into more into the comparison part, you know, in the
Mhm.
work
Yeah.
field, in our future career.
Mhm.
Sometimes this comparison is also exists in reality, in which, you know, there's a lot of competitions, in a work field, in maybe a job field that we want to getting in the future. So what do you think about this sort of competitions of it right now?
Yeah. It's definitely really intense, like the competition that you get like applying for a job and stuff. And especially, I mean, obviously, I was talking to my sister about this. For some reason, like